I'm Max Dalton, and in this video I'm going to compare the Ultimate Ears Wonderboom 2 to the Sony SRS XB12 to help you figure out which Bluetooth speaker is right for you. Let's start by looking at the durability of the two speakers. The UE Wonderboom 2 and SRS XB12 are both Bluetooth devices you can comfortably take into rougher territory. The Wonderboom 2 Bluetooth speaker is wrapped in a tough knit fabric and is IP67 rated, meaning that it can be submerged in up to a meter of water for half an hour and is dust-proof. The SRS XB12 boasts the same IP67 rating, but the outer part of the device is wrapped in a hard plastic shell with a grate on top and a slot on the bottom where the sound can escape. Next, let's look at each speaker's form factor. The Wonderboom 2 weighs in at 0.92 pounds, while the Sony SRS XB12 weighs in at 0.7 pounds. The UE Wonderboom 2 has roughly the same shape as a softball, while the SRS XB12 has the same shape as a soda can, but is about half the size. Now let's compare the button interface of the SRS XB12 and the Wonderboom 2. The most striking part of the Wonderboom 2 is the giant volume buttons built into the mesh on the front of the device. The power and Bluetooth buttons are located on the top of the Wonderboom 2, along with a button that lets you play, pause, and skip songs. Also, on the bottom of the Wonderboom 2 is an outdoor button that optimizes audio when you're using the speaker outdoors. Alternatively, on the SRS XB12, all of the buttons are located on the lower back part of the device. The buttons include power and pairing, volume up and down, play, pause, and phone, and an add button to connect to another SRS XB12 Bluetooth speaker. Now let's see how the audio quality of the two Bluetooth speakers stack up against each other. Let's do a quick audio test for each speaker. We'll use a snippet of the same song played through each speaker for 10 seconds at the same volume level. First, we'll start with the Wonderboom 2. Now, let's listen to the same audio played through the Sony SRS XB12. The most noticeable difference is how much quieter the SRS XB12 is at the same level as the Wonderboom 2. The highest output volume for the SRS XB12 is equal to the Wonderboom 2 at 50% volume. Also, the UE Wonderboom 2 produces a cleaner range of sounds with good bass, while the SRS XB12 sounds tinny overall and the bass is barely present and sounds washed out when it is there. Additionally, because of the Wonderboom 2's knit exterior, its audio sounds the same no matter where you are in relation to it. The same can't be said for the SRS XB12, as the audio only really comes out of the top of the device and will sound different depending on how you're sitting in relation to the speaker. Finally, if you plan on using your Bluetooth speaker outside, the outdoor mode on the Wonderboom 2 makes music travel better outdoors. It's not something I can illustrate in a video, so you'll just have to trust me. Next, let's take a look at each speaker's power and ports. Both the SRS XB12 and UE Wonderboom 2 are charged through a micro USB cable accessible by removing a cover on the back of each device. The Wonderboom 2 reaches a full charge in roughly 2.5 hours, while it takes 2 hours for the Sony SRS XB12 to fully charge. Additionally, the Wonderboom 2 battery can last for up to 13 hours, while the SRS XB12 is good for up to 16 hours. Now let's look at how each speaker interfaces with virtual assistants. The Sony SRS XB12 can be used to initiate either the Google Assistant on a connected Android device or Siri on a connected Apple device, using the play pause phone button on the back of the device. The Wonderboom 2 does not offer a way to interact with any virtual assistants. Next, let's look at each speaker's ability to be connected to other speakers. Both the Sony SRS XB12 and the Wonderboom 2 can be connected to one other speaker. However, there are some limitations. The SRS XB12 can only be paired with another SRS XB12. The Wonderboom 2 can be paired with most other newer model Ultimate Ears speakers. In conclusion, the Wonderboom 2 is the better speaker overall, but it will cost you twice as much as the Sony SRS XB12. That being said, if you have the cash to spare, I think it's well worth it. the SRS XB12 isn't worth the price and leaves a lot to desire. If you can't afford to wait, the previous version of the Wonderboom speaker has reduced in price and would be a good alternative if you don't want to pay up for the Wonderboom 2. Let me know which Bluetooth speaker you like more in the comments below. If you liked what you saw here, click the video link on the right side of the screen to check out another video. Or click the logo on the left side of the screen to subscribe to this channel to see more great videos like this one.